The voicemail sat in my phone like a ticking bomb. My mother-in-law's voice, cracking, desperate, almost unrecognizable, played through the speaker. "Rebecca, please. I'm begging you. Just let me see them. Just once. I'll do anything." I stared at that phone for a full minute. My hands were shaking. Not from guilt, not from sadness, but from the pure electric satisfaction of knowing that after 10 years, 10 long, brutal years of being called worthless, inadequate, and not good enough for her precious son, Patricia Hamilton was finally getting exactly what she deserved. You see, this isn't just another mother-in-law horror story. This is about a woman who tried to destroy my marriage, sabotage my self-worth, and convince everyone, including my own husband, that I was nothing more than a gold-digging mistake. And now she's locked out of her grandchildren's lives, permanently, and I'm the one holding the key. But to understand why I feel absolutely zero remorse, you need to hear the whole story. If you've ever had someone in your life who made you feel small, who tore you down repeatedly, who thought they could break you, this story is for you. Hit that like button right now, subscribe if you haven't already, and buckle up, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Trust me. Now, let's go back to where it all began. It was September 2014. I was 26 years old, working as a kindergarten teacher in Portland, and I'd just met the man who would become my husband, Daniel Hamilton. Tall, kind, funny, with these warm hazel eyes that made you feel like you were the only person in the room. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue, and honestly, it was one of those instant connection moments. You know the kind I'm talking about, where conversation flows like you've known each other for years. 3 months in, Daniel said those words every new girlfriend both loves and dreads. "I want you to meet my family." I remember feeling nervous but excited. I wore this soft blue dress. Nothing too fancy, just nice, appropriate. I brought homemade lemon bars because Daniel mentioned his mom loved lemon. I wanted to make a good impression. God, I was so naive. The Hamilton house was this pristine, 2-story colonial in the suburbs. Manicured lawn, stone pathway, everything screaming upper middle-class perfection. Daniel's dad, Richard, answered the door. Friendly enough, firm handshake, warm smile. And then she appeared, Patricia Hamilton. She stood in the hallway, arms crossed, her sharp blue eyes raking over me from head to toe like I was a used car she was considering not buying. She was tall, thin, with perfectly styled blonde hair and this tight, pursed lip smile that didn't reach her eyes. "So," she said, her voice clipped and cold, "you're the teacher. Not nice to meet you, not, we've heard so much about you, just, you're the teacher," like it was an insult, like I'd just admitted to selling roadside trinkets for a living. I extended my hand. "Hi, Mrs. Hamilton, I'm Rebecca. It's so wonderful to finally meet you." She looked at my hand for a beat too long before shaking it. Briefly, limply, like she might catch something. Come in, I suppose." That dinner was 3 hours of thinly veiled insults. "So, Rebecca, teaching kindergarten. That must be simple work." Daniel's last girlfriend was finishing her MBA at Stanford. Very driven, very ambitious. I just worry about Daniel's future, you understand. He comes from a family of doctors and lawyers. We have standards. Every sentence was a tiny knife. "And Daniel?" He laughed it off. "Mom, relax. Rebecca's amazing." But he didn't stop her. He didn't shut it down. He just minimized it, made me feel like I was overreacting. That was the first night. I should have seen it as a warning, but I loved Daniel. And I thought, stupidly, that I could win her over. We got engaged in 2016. I thought, hoped, that Patricia would soften. That once she realized Daniel loved me, truly loved me, she'd accept me. I was so wrong. The engagement party? Patricia wore white. Not ivory, not cream. White, like she was the bride. And when people congratulated us, she'd swoop in with comments like, "Well, we'll see how long this lasts," followed by that awful, tinkling laugh. The wedding planning was a nightmare. She fought me on everything. The venue wasn't prestigious enough. My dress was too simple. My family, my hardworking, wonderful, blue-collar family, wasn't appropriate for the Hamilton image. She actually suggested we have 2 receptions, one for Daniel's real connections and another for Rebecca's people. I cried in the bathroom of 3 different venues. Daniel kept saying, "Just ignore her. She'll come around." But she didn't. She got worse. At the wedding rehearsal dinner, Patricia gave a speech, and I'll never forget it. She stood up, champagne glass in hand, and said, "I've always dreamed of the woman my son would marry. Someone accomplished, someone who matched his intellect and ambition, someone worthy of the Hamilton name." She paused, looked directly at me, and smiled that cold, shark-like smile. Well, we don't always get what we dream of, do we? But I suppose love makes us compromise. The room went silent. My mother's face went pale. My bridesmaids looked horrified. "And Daniel?" He squeezed my hand under the table and whispered, "She's just nervous. She doesn't mean it, but she did mean it. Every word." We got married in June 2017, and for the next 3 years, Patricia made it her personal mission to remind me, constantly, that I wasn't good enough. When I got pregnant with our first child in 2018, I thought maybe, just maybe, becoming a grandmother would change her. I called her, excited, nervous, hoping for warmth. "You're pregnant?" Her voice was flat. "Well, I hope you're prepared. Children are expensive, and on a teacher's salary..." She trailed off, the implication clear. When our daughter Emma was born, Patricia showed up at the hospital with her photographer, not to meet her granddaughter, but to stage the perfect grandmother moment for her Facebook friends. She held Emma for exactly 4 photos, handed her back to the nurse, and left. She called Emma the baby for 8 months. Not her name, just the baby. Everything came to a head in March 2020, right before the world shut down. Emma's 2nd birthday party. I'd planned this beautiful, small celebration. Family only, backyard picnic theme. I made her cake myself. A little lavender butterfly cake because Emma was obsessed with butterflies. I was so proud of it. Patricia arrived late, swept in with her own store-bought cake, this massive, elaborate thing from an expensive bakery, and announced loudly, "I brought a real cake since I wasn't sure Rebecca's attempt would be edible." My mother-in-law placed her cake front and center, moved mine to the side table like it was garbage. I felt my throat tighten. My face burned, but I held it together. For Emma, for Daniel. Then came present time. Patricia's gift? A college savings bond. Nice, right? Except she made a whole speech about it. "Emma, darling, Grandma Patricia is making sure you have opportunities your mother never had. A real education, a real future. Because someone has to think ahead in this family." That was it. That was the moment something inside me just snapped. I stood up. My voice was shaking but steady. "Patricia, get out," she blinked, shocked. "Excuse me? Get out of my house now." "Rebecca, don't be dramatic. You've spent years disrespecting me, belittling me, insulting my family, my career, my worth, and I've stayed quiet because I didn't want to cause problems. But you just humiliated me at my daughter's birthday party, in front of everyone, so I'm done. Get out." Patricia's face went red, then white. She looked at Daniel. "Are you going to let her speak to me this way?" And here's the thing, the beautiful, vindicating thing. Daniel stood up, walked over to me, put his arm around my shoulders, and said, "Yeah, Mom, I am, because she's right. You've been cruel to her since day one, and I should have stopped it years ago, so you need to leave." Patricia grabbed her purse, her face twisted with rage. "You'll regret this. Both of you," she stormed out, slammed the door, and I felt light. For the first time in years. After that day, we went no contact with Patricia. Blocked her number. Blocked her on social media. She tried going through Richard, but he, surprisingly, backed us up. Told her she'd gone too far. For 6 months, there was blissful silence. Then our son, Liam, was born in October 2020. And Patricia lost her mind. She started a social media campaign, posted photos of Emma from before the fallout with captions like "missing my sweet grandbaby" and praying for reconciliation. She sent letters, emails. She even showed up at our house. Twice, we called the police both times. Daniel's extended family started pressuring us. She's family. Everyone deserves forgiveness. Think of the children. They need their grandmother. But here's what they didn't understand. Patricia wasn't sorry. Not once did she apologize. Not once did she acknowledge the decade of cruelty. She just wanted access. She wanted control. And I refused to give it to her. In January 2024, Patricia's sister, Daniel's aunt, reached out. She begged us to reconsider, said Patricia was heartbroken and desperate. I thought about it. Really thought about it. And then I wrote Patricia a letter. Not an email, a real handwritten letter. I wanted her to feel every word. Here's what it said. Dear Patricia, you've spent 10 years telling me I'm not good enough, that I'm not smart enough, successful enough, worthy enough to be part of your family. You belittled my career, mocked my background, and made me feel worthless. You tried to humiliate me at every turn. But here's the truth. I am enough. I always have been. I'm a damn good mother, a devoted wife, a dedicated teacher who shapes young minds every single day, and my children, Emma and Liam, are being raised with kindness, respect, and love. Things you clearly never valued. You want to see your grandchildren? You want a relationship? Then you need to do something you've never done. Take accountability. Apologize. Not a fake, half-hearted, "I'm sorry you felt that way" apology. A real one. Acknowledge every cruel thing you said, every dismissive comment, every time you made me feel small. Until then, you don't get to be a grandmother, because my children deserve better than your toxicity. You taught me I wasn't good enough. Now I'm teaching you about consequences. Rebecca. I mailed it, and I waited. 3 weeks later, I got a response. Not a letter, a voicemail. Patricia's voice was shaking, furious. How dare you? You self-righteous, vindictive little... You've poisoned my son against me. You've stolen my grandchildren. You're nothing, Rebecca. You always have been. And one day Daniel will see that. One day he'll wake up and realize what a mistake you were. And when that happens, don't come crawling back to me. I saved that voicemail, played it for Daniel. He was horrified, hurt, but also free. Because that voicemail proved everything. She wasn't sorry. She was just angry she'd lost control. We got a formal cease and desist letter drafted. No more contact, period. That brings us to today, November 2025. Patricia is 73 now. Richard left her last year. Turns out decades of controlling narcissistic behavior wore him down too. Her friends have distanced themselves. And her grandchildren? Emma is 7. Liam is 5. They have no memory of her. No attachment. No loss. And Patricia? She sends letters every few months. Begging. Pleading. Promising she's changed. But I don't respond. Because here's what I learned. You don't owe forgiveness to people who aren't truly sorry. You don't owe access to people who hurt you. And you definitely don't owe your children's love to someone who spent a decade proving they don't respect you. Patricia called me not good. Enough for 10 years. Now she's learning that she's not good enough to be a grandmother. And honestly, that feels pretty damn good. Look, I'm not saying revenge is always the answer, but boundaries, consequences, those are essential. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply say no more and mean it. Patricia thought she held all the cards. Turns out, she was wrong. So what do you think? Was I justified? Or did I take it too far? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if this story hit you right in the feels, smash that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping Reddit revenge stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and remember, never let anyone make you feel like you're not enough. See you in the next one.